possession of the game. Going in for the ball was Hiwasa. And some midfield play, some adventurousness already as the Japanese break out through Sub. And on the outside, this could be the first try of the match. Yamada pulled down by Kurt Baker on the 22-metre line. Hiwasa again looking for ball runners. Ono. And Ono threw a big fake. Rafi was ready. And they pick and drive up the middle immediately. Japan make a statement of intent of their own. $15 out, now on the 22-metre line, looking for the cup. Matsushima, the Suntory club, and they will win the first penalty of the game, Japan. That is a wonderful start for Eddie Jones's men.
Yeah, very high intensity there from the Japanese side. It was a nice break too from the centre, Kotaro Matsushima. There he is on screen. He was on the wing, the right side, I think, in the first game, and Kobe was very good, made a lot of telling breaks, and this time they're going to move him into centre and give him the ball. Very quick on his feet, and he just ghosted through that hole.
Shot again of Michael Leach, the captain of this side, who was the MVP for Japan at Rugby World Cup 2011. He came up to play Top League in 2012, and in his first season he was named the revelation of the season in Japanese rugby. But how about this for a first-up run? Ihaya West slipping off the tackle.
Interesting decision here. They had guaranteed points. They go for the line-out, Sumo.
Taken down by Thompson. Tallest of the two locks on display for Japan. They get their driving maul going, remembering they scored a penalty try from the maul last week, and again it pays dividends for them as they get the repeat penalty, pulling down the ruck.
Interesting to see what they do here, because they have the option for the scrum also, and they were dominant in that area as well in the first test. They're going to go to the line out and back themselves again on the drive.
Chris Eads watches on. And Japan have come to play. A real statement of intent from their captain, Michael Leach, to pressure this Maori All Blacks set piece. Pryor stands at the front. The throw coming from Takeshi Kizu. And again, it's Thompson in the middle. Bit of counter drive this time from the Maori. And they look to wrap around on the open side. Ball is still live. Going in to fight for it was Paul Wood, and he wins the penalty for the Maori All Blacks. Continuing his fine work in ITM Cup for Auckland, Sean Polwood, one of the turnover specialists of the tournament.
Yeah, made his debut last week, scored a try also, and he was outstanding in this area in game one. Polwood, you'll see him come round. Ihaya West is in there, and he's just going into the second contact straight on the ball. Good technique there by Polwood. Technique, open side play, and he gets the rewards.
So the penalty against Thompson for holding on. 48 caps, make that 49 today for Luke Thompson. 33 years of age, former Lincoln University man. Blake Thompson shifts to lock for this game. And Cody Taylor, his run-on debut, another product of Fielding High School. What a school that is. It has produced a number of fine players, including all the Whitelocks. And we'll come back offside in front of the kicker. Spectacular grab it was as well. Quick tap, and they're underway again. Yamada. Iwasa. Ono. Sa. Hit hard in the tackle. Picked up and carried on by Hendrik Tui. Making some good meters up the middle of this Māori pack. Hatakeyama was on the charge as they look for touch again, and will come back Angus Gardner. Another penalty against the Māori All Blacks. He'll have a chat.
Captain. Just go away, thanks. I don't need you. Oh, we haven't had that long. Yeah. A couple of ill-disciplined. High tackle, collapsing the maul, advancing in front of the kicker. Now 8 offside. Too many penalties to start off with, right? More discipline, otherwise you're going to lose somebody. Understand? Yeah, please.
Well, there's the warning, Sumo. The yellow cards coming if they don't pick up their discipline. That's because of the speed that the Japanese team are playing at the moment. They're forcing New Zealand Māori into those mistakes.
Eddie Jones giving it the Vulcan death stare on the sideline as well. You've got to hand it to Eddie Jones. He's been committed long-term to Japanese rugby with Suntory since 1996, on and off. 18 years in the game at the grass level. So Goromaru will look for touch. Top point scorer in Japanese history. 505 points out of 41 matches, and granted, a couple of those were blowouts over such rugby powerhouses as Kazakhstan and Sri Lanka.
This is the game he really does need to stand up, and this is a good move too by the captain Michael Leach, because he knows that New Zealand Māori can't pull it down. They have to stay up, otherwise someone's in the bin, so a lot of pressure on the Māori All Blacks right now.
Kisu goes deep. It's Leach who takes it down at the back of the line-out. And he re-entered the maul, in fact, not straight as the call from Angus Gardner. You wonder about the tactic here, KT. You've had New Zealand under pressure at the middle of the line-out. Luke Thompson's winning ball. You've been able to set the drive. That's what sucked the penalties out of Angus Gardner.
He called him to the back, a tough throw. In these conditions, on with you, Sumo. Very interesting call there to go that way in the line out. But here's an interesting one for me too, because this battle, Japan won easily on points in the first game at scrum time.
Crouch.
So a heavy attack for Japan. Mike Kainga this side of the scrum against the debutant today, Keita Inagaki, just 24 years of age. Plays for the Panasonic club in the top league. A powerful club that is as well when you look through this side. Of course, the spine, Suntory, Toshiba, Panasonic.
Crouch. 5. 6.
Slowly to feed, again the pressure on from the Japanese scrum. It's Kurt Baker who will be forced to clear. And he clears as far as Goromaru. And a chance now for Hesketh. Khan Hesketh in the 14 jersey today. And another penalty. Angus Gardner's going to card someone here, no doubt about it.
Not rolling away, yep.
And Tom Franklin will spend the next 10 minutes watching the game like the rest of us.
He was good in game one, Tom Franklin, in tandem. He's here, Polwork's the first one. Franklin comes over. Geez, that's very quick, so that's tough to roll away when you've got 12 bodies sitting on top of you. But they have been warned.
Well, I wonder what the respective messages from the coaches were to Angus Gardner as we look inside the New Zealand box. Colin Cooper on the radio and Thumbai Madsen looking on. Eddie Jones would have wanted to speed the game up to make sure that they had quick ball from the breakdown. I wonder if Colin Cooper felt the same way.
Yeah, they're very physical, the New Zealand Māori team, especially in defence, and they put the Japanese attack on the back foot, but you can see already the Japanese brave blossoms, as they're known, have gone up the middle of the park and pick and go already, and got in behind the New Zealand Māori defence. They're having to make these slow down tactics, and it's caused them a yellow card.
So Goromaru, that is his view of the kick. Made his debut as a 19-year-old, the third youngest to ever take the field for Japan. Very deliberate in his run-up, and the kick from in front. And it's away to the left.
They've given up 2 penalties within throwing distance for that guy, and if they've missed the third opportunity, so that's 9 given points they probably could have had. Scotty, and they can't give this to the New Zealand Māori All Black team. They can't let them off the hook. They've got to compile points, this Japanese side.
Well, fairness to Japan, I don't think the New Zealand Māori have touched the ball yet on an offensive play. 90% territory to start this match as Ihaya West restarts the game. Ngāti Kahumunu, Ngāti Puro, Whonum looking for a midfield set. Michael Leach loses the ball, and it's danger time now for Japan. As we saw last week, New Zealand so good on the counter-attack. And the kick is made into touch, and just like that, we'll have the Māori All Blacks line out inside Japanese territory.
Well, that's where they were so lethal in game one, the Māori All Blacks, from turnovers and from deep a lot of the times. And now you're going to get their first offensive play in the Japanese half. Japan, well, they need to switch on here. They need to get their defence in order. Already very slow to set up.
Short and line out, 5 men in it. Sean Polward has made his way to the middle of the field. Taylor throws, and that one's gone through the hands of Dan Pryor. Straight to Lilo Murphy. On the bench last week, and he gets a start today. Knock on is called, and Angus Gardner will come back for the scrum.
Well, unfortunate there for New Zealand Maori. Dan Pryor just losing the handle on that throw. It was a good one by Cody Taylor. Again, New Zealand Maori going to be forced to defend. They've had to make a number of tackles already in the first 10 minutes. Japanese very flat in their alignments and looking to run. Will send the downtown line and use their kick chase line.
Shot there of Hendrik Tui, who will play Super Rugby for the Queensland Reds next year. He's been with Suntory, before that Panasonic. Another of the New Zealand-born players in this side. Made his Japanese debut in 2012. Wonderful scrum from the Japanese. Iwasa doesn't want a bar of it. He says, you guys keep it. Now he gets it. Here's Ono. Kosai Ono takes it on the line. Sean Palmer there again. Iwasa. And just Smiley. Dan Pryor coming to help, and he slips out of both. Thompson. Just a couple of grafting metres for Luke Thompson. Kizu. Not trying to throw the ball around. Lilo Murphy. Ono looking for runners. Finds one in the shape of Hendrik Tui. Iwasa is there again on the halfway line. Thought about a dart. And then found Hatakiyama. Good recycling play this from Japan as they work their way through the phases. Luke Thompson gets a face full of dreadlocks from Dan Pryor. And they come again. Iwasa, options. Open side play. Now the kick through from Ono. Looking for space in behind the line, and Nehi Milner Scudder. Looked to have misjudged the pickup.
Well, you're right, Suma. It's that 9-10 combination for Japan at the moment with Iwasa, Kosei Ono from the Suntory club, already paying dividends hugely for this Japan team. Iwasa looking very sharp around the base and in the ruck time. Had a nice little spurt, and so did Kosei Ono, who's played for the Japan team, Japan Sevens team, also challenging the line.
Taylor throws, and again it's picked off at line outside. Kisu now finds Leach. Here's Ono, and a chance for Sump. Unloads. They wrap around the edge, just 5 short of the Māori All Blacks line. There again for Iwasa. This is great play, and they've got in for the try. They think it's a try. Angus Gardner says, time out, let's have a look. For the debutant, Keita Inagaki thinks he scored a try.
Oh, it was a beautiful pass. I think it was from the halfback, Atsushi Iwasa, and they're just going to look at the runners. So it was 3 in total. He hit the back runner in the loose head prop, Keita Inagaki. There he is there, the man on screen, the depth. What a start for him. Here it is here. It was a flat ball. 1-2. No, I think that's all right. The reads on Dixon. He's the one that comes in. Nothing to do with the attack.
Thanks, mate. Okay.
Oh, no, he's going to say obstruction, is he?
Oh, George.
Obstruction.
There's the call from George Ayew. And Keita Inagaki is denied. Eddie Jones does not look happy.
The positive signs from this Japan team, well, a number of incisive runs. That's the thing for me that was lacking last week.
Well, Matsushima has looked great to start this game. That combination between Male Sau and Kotaro Matsushima has looked very sharp. And we spoke about that halves combination. Quick ball from Iwasa, good option taking, and Ono quite happy to play the distribution role. Yeah, because you've got Ono there who can run also and threaten the line along the lines of Ihaya West. As a defence, you have to hold. And that's leaving one-on-ones on the outside with Male Sau, the power, and Matsushima, the man with the nice footwork and speed on the outside, is causing a lot of disruption in the Māori All Black defence. Mike Kainga and Dan Pryor brings it down. Chris Smiley from the box will find plenty of territory. But there to take it in was Yamada. And Uno returns fire. Back for this is Elliot Dixon, and that takes a wicked bounce. Into touch. Ihaya West now. Took the quick throw, and then Tom Franklin from the sin bin touches the ball. He might spend another 10 minutes in there if he's not careful.
He's only got less than 3 minutes to get in there.
I think he's getting a telling off currently from the sideline official. That's not straight, but play on as the call, says Angus Gardner. Here's Ono again, he's on the ramp, a dummy from Sol. But he's held up in the tackle. Angus Gardner calls more. Ball has to be made available, it can't be. So the Māori All Blacks on a good defensive play, and right in the thick of it again is Sean Polwart.
Yeah, he has got a big motor on them, the open side flank for New Zealand Māori. They just can't get their hands on the ball. Only 62% possession, sorry, for the Japanese team. There it is, the little loop. They're trying to isolate Ihaya West. But Polwart has a good number 7 does. He's right there on defence. Once it's a more, you don't have to roll away.
You good? Let's go, here's the mark.
It's a big call too. Jason Emery, who looked so good last week for this Māori All Blacks side. Matty Proctor coming in from the wing to start and centre, but Emery's defensive work throughout the ITM Cup for Manawatu, the championship winners. He doesn't miss many tackles.
He didn't get many opportunities going forward last week, Jason Emery, but Proctor, he's a strong player. There he is on screen, and hopefully he'll be wanting a bit of ball from this midfield scrum now.
0 the score, 15 minutes in. If you've just joined us on Sky Sport, we are live from Tokyo's Prince Chichibu Memorial Stadium as the Māori All Blacks take on Japan, the second of 2 internationals. First one won 61-21, convincing fashion. And this is the final game of this mini tour.
It's weathered the initial storm from this Japan team so far. Sumo have the New Zealand Māori. Now only their second throw-in, I think by memory, in the Japan half to attack from. First one was a knock-on from Dan Pryor. Got to get this one right. Cody Taylor's got to hit his jumper.
1 of 3 at line-out time. Māori All Blacks today. So Cody Taylor with some pressure mounting. 5-man called. And again it's picked off. Luke Thompson reads the play. Iwasa feeds to Ono. Now a second man. Sao to Matsushima. Decides on the kick. But it's straight down field to Nehi Milner-Skudder. Good defensive line up on Nehi Milner-Skudder. Taken down just short of the halfway stripe. Kainga with a good ball wide. James Lowe gets a feed on Haskett. Eves. Ball is there for Smiley. Now some phases for the Māori to work with. And straight through the hole goes Cody Taylor. Taylor for the line. Cody Taylor. First try of the game. On his run-on debut, Cody Taylor gets the job done for the Māori.
Oh, that's why they're so exciting to watch. New Zealand Māori All Blacks can score from anywhere. Only their second time they've been in the Japanese half on attack. Come from a nice line out. Watch this passing at Dan Pryor. A little short one to Cody Taylor. A little stutter step. Look at the speed by the hooker. The young man goes through. Gets the first try of this game. Against the run of play, you'd have to say, too, Sumo.
We know how good he is ball in hand, Cody Taylor. He shows it week in, week out for Canterbury. And he'll have a big part to play too for the Crusaders in 2015. Great ball from Dan Pryor. But really, Lilo Murphy had to do better than that. And Cody Taylor, with a clean pair of heels, hasn't been able to hit a barn door with his darts at line-out time, but gee, he can score a try.
Oh, can run. So explosive. That's the thing that stands out with this young man. Getting the starting number 2 today. And wow, this Japanese side, they can't miss tackles. They have to get the defence in order.
We spoke about it before, Katie. They've given up on the chance to score points early in the match when they had penalty opportunities as Ihaya West converts the try, 7 points to 0. Now they find themselves in arrears after all of that hard work. Nothing to show for it. That is punishing.
That is massive in a game like this. And just wonder what that does for the psyche of this Japanese team. They've had everything, the ball, they've had territory, And now they find themselves 7 points down.
Tom Franklin back in the field of play. So the Maori All Blacks scored that try with 14 men on the park. Let's not forget that. And that is out on the full. Good heads-up play from Kurt Baker. Good awareness of the sideline. And he'll be thinking of the quick tap here, Kurt Baker. Instead, we'll go to scrum time. Halfway strong.
Scrum? Scrum.
What a prime attacking opportunity here. Midfield scrum. They can't afford back-to-back scores, the Japanese team. Great work there from Kurt Baker, the man from Taranaki. Realising the situation, where he was on the park, getting that out on the full. Kosei Ono will be ruining that kick, and now they just have to settle down here, Japan. New Zealand Maori, well, they get a stable scrum. That guy, evergreen, Chris Smiley, was good last week. His combination with Ash Dixon, very important.
What a season he's had. Veteran player, brought so much maturity to his side this year at ITM Cup. And Japan are putting a beast show on the Māori All Blacks at scrum time, but somehow the ball's come back for Chris Smiley. And he drops a worm burner, which rolls out 10 short of the Japanese line.
That's all that experience you're just speaking about. Sumo, Chris Smiley, just keeping his head at the back of the scrum. Is a good one for Japan. Here it is. The pressure goes on. Timing's brilliant. Ash Dixon thinks it's out and it gets raked back. Just the hands here to pick it up in the wet. Realises there's space in behind. Nice recognition here from Smiley.
Here's the throw from Kizu. Pressure throw on a four-man line-out. Lots of body movement. Thompson lifted at the back. Good technical line-out work as Makabe takes the hit. They'll look for the exit here off the boot of Ono, who's deep in the end goal. And he gets plenty on that, so we'll take play outside the 22. He doesn't look too thrilled with the effort.
There is the #1 halfback in Japan.
Will they miss him?
Most definitely was thinking that too. Sumo saw Iwasa's name down.
Tanaka. No stranger to viewers in New Zealand, and we get a line-out win. Played Thompson, the man. Here's Ngatai, takes it to the line. Charlie Ngatai, the captain of this side. Ngati Poroti whanau Apanui. And the turnover is made. Hiwasa brings in Yamada, who has proven to be elusive to start this game. And unfortunately, a small knock-on for Japan, so we'll come back for another scrum. This is an area of the game where Japan is not standing back.
Yeah, they have been outstanding in the scrum time. Look at that. Good work. Ripped out by the #8 for Japan. Lele Mafi doing some good work. And unfortunately, trying to get involved in the game, Yamada, very explosive on the Panasonic club. Only 90 kgs, but he's powerful. Four to the left here for the Māori All Blacks. Two to the right. They can get a stable platform. Wouldn't mind seeing them come to the right-hand side with the 8-9. Just create the numbers.
They can work an overlap here. So they'll need to come across and cover. There is the 8-9 play, but the execution letting them down. Elliot Dixon retains possession. Chris Smiley now out to the left. A drop kick from Ihaya West. That is unorthodox.
Just not something you sort of associate with the New Zealand Māori team. I'm sure we'll be stung in the court session later on for that.
Around about 100 years of New Zealand Maori rugby, I think that's the first drop goal attempt ever taken.
But it all came down from that pressure from the scrum time, wasn't it? Again, nice timing from Iwasa around the base. Ash Dixon getting stung. There he is there. Iwasa so quick.
Nehi Milner Scudder. Flights to Ihaya West. And now James Lowe with a step. Lowe straight through the first line has support from Smiley. And Smiley turns around and runs the wrong way to find some support. Here's Milner Scudder. Milner Scudder too good in the corner.
Oh, he's special. Nehi Milner Scudder here will remember 2014 with very fond memories. In the provincial competition in New Zealand, the ITN Cup, he was on a tear. So was this guy for Tasman, his club team, James Lowe. He was a beast in game 1, already in game 2. His physical presence has been outstanding. But look at this guy, ball in 2 hands, the speed, throws off the defender with a little shake. And he's got the gas to get over. He is on fire. 2014, Nehi Milner-Skudder.
Tell you what, Yamada, I hope he scanned his barcode when he let him through. Not one of the great tackle attempts in the history of rugby. Nehi Milner-Skudder, one of the stars of ITM Cup rugby for Manawatu this year. So much spark from the back. When you look at this back 3 for the Maori All Blacks, Baker, Lowe, Milner-Skudder, game breakers right across the park. Here's Ihaya West, one in from touch. Can't bring it around, so the score remains 12 points to 0. 2 tries to 0. The Maori All Blacks in front. Both tries well constructed.
Every time they get it on the edge, New Zealand Maori All Blacks, they look dangerous. Down the 10-metre channels, those players to burn, as you said, the back 3 are just running the muck at the moment, Sumo.
Taken in by Dixon. Dixon plays his rugby for Southland, of course. This is his affiliation as Ngāpui, so he's a long way from home. Beautiful ball on the outside, played Thompson. Got a fend working and finally dragged down in the tackle of Goromaru. Here's West again. Plenty to play with, Ngātai. And Ngātai puts one over the top. No real chase line coming as James Lowe just stood back, waiting for Hesketh on the play. Here's Milner-Skudder. Got a goose step working as he hit the defensive line, took it up to the 22. Smiley again. Low to West. Now Ngātai. Ngātai cuts back in field after looking at his options, which were very wide.
No, back.
Smiley takes the left side. Dixon had to get out of the way. Very Neo from the Matrix. Kainga. Bit hard, double coverage on the Panda as Smiley goes in again. Here's Ihaya West. Short ball, Ngātai. Now they find the space on the outside. Kurt Baker backs himself. Iwasa was there to make the tackle. And the ball is live for Smiley, who seemed to take an eternity to get there. James Lowe. He'll set the play. Now the Japanese side rush in, disrupt, and then an offside play surely from Maccabi. Play continues, 10 out from the Japanese line. Ono.
Ominous signs here for the Japan team, now having to make a number of tackles themselves. Getting out of jail just. He's been good though, this kid James Lowe, hasn't he? So strong, Sumo.
As we look at ref cam, Lowe was there, ready for the set. Iwasa did well. The ball was knocked out. Maccabi picked up. Finally they cleared it to touch. It was Goromaru, in fact. They'll win this line out on the second grab as West goes to Ngātai. Wide ball from him, bringing in Milner-Skudder again. The kick through for James Lowe to chase. And Matsushima dives over the touchline.
It's an unusual play, wasn't it, for Matsushima? Milner-Skudder, each time he touches the ball, he looks like he's taking a bit of a hit on the left wrist, but little nice little kick in behind by Milner-Skudder, just keeping them going forward. Matsushima just diving for the sideline. I don't think I've seen that before in game rugby.
Play on.
Not entirely sure it's legit. 27 gone. And territory now at 50-50. Remember, the first 12 minutes of the game, that was 90-10 in favour of Japan. Cody Taylor. And he picks out Franklin. Now they get the drive working. The Maori All Blacks trying to give Japan a taste of their own medicine here. And they're bound well on this driving maul. Trying to get around the outside was Hendrick Tui. Now things come to a standstill. Smiley will have it. Here's West. West! Wide ball almost picked off. They'll come back. Beautifully read on defence, and Yamada would have been away.
Oh, there'd be no stopping him, that's for sure. It was an all-or-nothing play, but I like it from Yamada. He was outnumbered. It was a nice left-to-right pass that was up there. Proctor was bouncing out. So Proctor gets it. He gets a try. Yamada, he takes it. He's down the other end as well.
His eyes lit up. Eddie Jones looks on. Well, the play was right from West. I know they've got them stretched when they go wide. Yamada had to make a decision to come in and take that ball.
Yeah, that's the thing for me, Sumo. He committed himself. He wasn't caught in no man's land. You either stay back or you have a go, and you had a go.
Running repairs here for Kensugi Kapakiyama. Played at Waseda University, should I say. The spiritual homes of rugby in Japan. Now, of course, 58 caps. He has a 71% win rate with Japan. To put that in perspective, that's the best of any player in the side with 40 or more caps.
I think he ended up last week with all his caps. He's got more than the entire New Zealand Maori All Black team.
He was 2 or 3 steps being held up.
Been good in the set piece, though, haven't they, the Brave Blossoms today, but hasn't shown on the scoreboard. They haven't taken their points when they were been on off, and that's the story so far.
Well, the structure of Japanese rugby is such that they spend a lot of time working on their set piece. So you'd expect them to be pretty efficient technicians in that department, but where they get stung all the time, and it was the same at this very stadium against the All Blacks last year. And that scoreline, remember, was 54-6, but Japan were very competitive in those set areas of the game. And as this one goes down, Angus Gardner will reset.
What Eddie Jones would be concerned about, for me, Sumo, is the transition. Once they turn the ball over, they got stung 7 or 8 occasions last week. They've been done twice already, turning the ball over. Maori All Blacks scoring a couple of nice tries. It's just that transition period. They have to get the mind right.
Transition defence, so crucial at this level of the game. But already, considering last week, half-time, 37 points to 5, the Maori were in front. So things have tightened up, but Japan just need to take some opportunities here, create some more for the remainder of this half, and try to keep this New Zealand Maori offensive line away from their goal line. As Elliot Dixon comes away with it off the back of the scrum, disrupting play at the breakdown. A penalty advantage will apply. Slap down of the hand of Chris Smiley, who gets it back now to West. And West throws it flat ball. Kurt Baker somehow stays on his feet. Taking around about 7 out. They come back again for West. Now Ngantai, full width of the play of the field and play here, and Polwood just overran the pass. They'll come back. Angus Gardner spots the offence.
Just admiring the passing right to left from New Zealand Maori team. All the backs throwing accurate right to left, 15 metres on them. Here's the indiscretion from the Japanese second rower, Nakabe. Thought he timed it right, just a couple of seconds off. Isn't Maori going to take the shot here?
James Lowe has got rid of his moustache, and, well, it was a fashion statement.
Hasn't detracted from his power running, because he has been outstanding on this Japanese tour. But very physical, the left winger, James Lowe. And then Kurt Baker showing a bit of steel as well on this near side of the field, running over 3 people.
He's got great strength in the tackle, Kurt Baker, something that Gordon Titchens is hot on. And remember, Baker's been a part of that setup on and off over the last few years. Stand in the tackle and look for opportunities. Ihaya West gets the 3. And the Māori All Blacks stretch now. 15 points to 0 they lead after 32 minutes at Chichibu.
Now's an important period for both sides. New Zealand Māori will want to take this restart, get it down the other end of the field. Japan need to get their hands on the ball and try and find a way to get any type of points. You can see there already the body language not looking that good from the Japanese team. They need something need some reward.
Kosai Ono with the kickoff. And this one taken in by Dixon. Immediately he finds Smiley, and Smiley puts on a couple of moves.
Inside.
Back for Ngātai, and he has a thunderous boot, but this one poorly aimed into the hands of Khan Hesketh, and Hesketh has been cutting it up for Sunnox for years now. Can't get past the tackle of Proctor, however. Hiwasa to Ono, short ball, and Lele Murphy up over the halfway line. Japan will work their way upfield on the back of the Angus Gardner penalty. And Polwarth's there to make the tackle. That now comes to fruition. A kick to touch here and some pressure from the line-out drive.
Yeah, that's where they got to go for one. Sumo. Got to back themselves. Got to get some points. Got to get some reward already. New Zealand Maori have been disciplined with Franklin spending time in the bin. They've been warned already. It's a good touch finder too from Gorumaru, so I'm sure the line-out drive's coming now from the Japanese team.
Cody Taylor disappears out of the line-out, taken down by Hendrik Tui. Straight into the hands of Lele Murphy. Amanaki Lele Murphy on his run-on debut today as Blade Thompson comes across. Manages to bridge the gap and disrupt the play. Hiwasa now with no option left. Ono. The defence was up quickly as Ono ducked under one. There's Hiwasa again. Luke Thompson. Iwasa surveys his options before he finds Inagaki. Remember, Inagaki crossed the line earlier in the half, but the try disallowed on an obstruction call from George Ayew. Iwasa under pressure, finds Thompson again. He's taken down by his opposite Tom Franklin. Iwasa looking short side, but decides on the open. Ono trying to find some space for Seoul. Dan Pryor brings him down. Now the pod's set. Makabe taken by Franklin and Dixon. And picked up by Kisu now. 35 minutes gone in the first half. And the ball there for Hiwasa again. Good phase play this from Japan. Inside ball to Sao. Hiwasa quickly away to Leach. Leach pulled down by Charlie Ngātai. Captain on captain. Thompson, short ball from him, dropped. Now the Māori All Blacks with a chance to clear their line, and Chris Smiley does it the old-fashioned way with the boot. Dropped and crosses the line. That is a result for the Māori All Blacks.
Oh, disappointing there from Japan. 12 phases, in fact, and this is what plagued them last week. On a number of occasions, they had the ball for long periods. Their ball shouldn't be thrown. Thompson has to take it in. It's a wrong line there from Makabe. He's overrun it. He's looking for the decoy. The player's on a huge missed opportunity there from Japan, and disappointing for sure. And I don't need to read big fluent in Japanese to say that bloke ain't happy.
Well, speaking Australian. Joe Royal, of course, on the bench this week. And Jones with plenty to think about at half-time. Colin Cooper and Dabai Madsen as well, no doubt.
Dabai Madsen, there's a lay of the land up here in Japan also. Spent a lot of time as a player playing for the Yamaha club and then coached them for a number of years also. Came back to New Zealand now in the Canterbury setup, and great to have him on board. Along with Carl Hoft, ex-All Black there, running the water for the New Zealand Māori.
Nicest man to ever play in the front row, Carl Hoft. Wasn't nice for 80 minutes.
I should room with him like I did in the Highlanders. Man can snort. You can't hear me, so I can say it.
He'll find out. Cody Taylor throws. Elliot Dixon unopposed takes the ball down, and Thomas Gardner finds a truck and trailer.
Player in front.
Line-up time hasn't been the best for New Zealand Māori. Cody Taylor's had his issues there. Finally, to get a good taken. Well, technique-wise, he just got it wrong. Here it is. Get it up nice and early.
As soon as you transfer it into instruction.
Well, that's a totally unopposed line-out. They literally just stood and watched New Zealand screw that up.
Here we go, guys.
It's become the greatest defensive play at line-out time ever. Let them do something silly.
That's it. Now, they've given themselves an opportunity. I wish that guy at the back of the scrum gets a clean hook and is able to run off the base because he's so strong, Malay Murphy.
Crouch. 5. Set.
Another great scrum from Japan. It has been an area of strength for them in this half, although they've not been able to profit from it. Now Hiwasa. Flat ball this time to Seoul. And another penalty advantage as they take some easy meters up the middle. And they come again. Hiwasa turns it up for Makabe. Back for Hiwasa. Now they wrap on the short. Here is Matsushima. Trying to get out of the tackle of Cody Taylor, who stood his ground. Flat ball now for Thompson. Just needing a little more deception in their play here, Japan, KT. They've got plenty to work with. Ono drops it off for Sal, and Sal drops Charlie Ngatai. Back for Hiwasa. Here's Ono. The halves combination really running the show for Japan today. Murphy into contact. Here's Ono, inside out. Koromaru gets this ball away. Chance for Yamada. And Yamada will get the try for Japan. Akihiro Yamada has looked threatening at times during this first half, and weight of possession finally takes its toll. Japan back in the game.
Yeah, nice set move there too, wasn't it? As a second man play in behind the runner, which opened up the space on this left-hand flank for Japan. Yamada, very strong, had limited space, only a couple of metres to work with. Great footwork for power.
In the lead up to the try.
Oh, now they're looking again at a decoy play. There's nothing wrong with this. Takes out the defence. He's gone upstairs again.
Well, the pace in which that backline wrapped around on the left. They knew what was coming. They knew their positions. We'll have a look at the replay here. And it's on Matsushima. I'm not entirely sure you can get an obstruction there.
There's nothing wrong with it. The defence is the one that's made the read. They've come any higher west. There's the one being singled out. He's made the wrong read, so there's nothing wrong with that for mine.
Looks like enough space between the two players, but let's just have one more look at another angle, please.
Matsushima's run a nice line here. He's the one that's caused the confusion in defence.
Well, he'll look end on here. And they came from everywhere. Hiwasa's ball was good. Ono just had time to size up his options. There's the line from Matsushima. You could say it just gave Gurumanu enough time to blindside Ihaya West, who was then late on the read.
This one.
But the ball has beaten the man there for me. So no one ran behind Matsushima.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sumo. There's no way Thompson's going to get across Ihaya. West has been manipulated. He's the one coming for the read. Finally, Shotty George.
Angus Gardner, in conjunction with his assistant and his video referee, have given the try. Eddie Jones, I think that's a look of joy. It's hard to say. But for Yamada, it's success. Japan has its first try of the game. And it was well constructed.
Oh, definitely. You can see it wrap around the outside. Ono's the one. Decoys Heathcliff's on the inside. Nice second man play there to Goromaru. Yamada had to still do a bit of work to get him behind the last line of defence, and he does it well. That's what you want a winger to do, score tries.
Wonderful to see him backing himself too. Cover defence coming across, and Yamada makes it count. Big conversion here for Ayumu Goromaru. 8 tries for Yamada, and there's a smile finally from Eddie Jones in the background. Goromaru from the sideline, and this one will drift across the face. What a time to score just before the half.
well-rehearsed try. Little bounce out too there from the fullback, Gorumaru. The finishing prowess of Yamada gets it done. And they're back in this one, Sumo.
It's great reward. They've played a lot of football in that first half. And when we go back and consider the points that perhaps were squandered with the line-out options taken by Captain Michael Leach rather than the penalty kicks, this could have been a different story. At the moment, it's a 10-point ball game as the halftime hooter sounds at Prince Chichibu, and Ono says that'll do. We'll have the final say of the half. And Eddie Jones will head up the tunnel, as will the players. Half-time in Tokyo. And the New Zealand Maori All Blacks lead Japan 15 points to 5.